Well, hello again. Here I am with another issue with yes and no answers, some of them quite pressing in today's world, and others perhaps equally demanding but not as current. One such issue is the one I'm addressing today. Should I climb Mount Everest? Well, I don't know anybody who has climbed Mount Everest, although the brother-in-law of one of my wife's and my best friends has climbed Mount Everest. So I'm kind of close, but not very close. I think it's useful just to review a couple of basic facts about Everest. As we all know, more and more people try and climb it each year. About 6,000 people have actually succeeded in climbing Mount Everest, i.e., actually reaching the summit, and about 300 people have died. So when you think about that, that's a percentage of about 5% of those reaching the summit have died. But the figure's a bit misleading in that it used to be a lot higher in the early days and is now much lower. So now it's about a 1% chance of dying compared to those who have actually reached the summit. The number actually trying, embarking upon the trip is about twice that figure. So even so, it's a pretty modest number. So I guess that's encouraging, scary as the whole project sounds. Okay, well, let's talk about those who would answer yes to this question. Should I climb Mount Everest? I suppose reason number one is that it's just about one of the most exciting, demanding, emotionally, psychologically challenging projects one could imagine. What could be a tougher project than to get up the world's highest mountain in what obviously is very demanding and trying circumstances? There has been so much publicity, books, films, and so forth on this subject, laying out the difficulties that no one can deny that it's a fantastic challenge. A second reason why someone might answer yes is that they are attracted to dangerous sports. The whole idea of extreme sports and the people that practice them, the downhill skiers that go off the edge of a cliff, that kind of thing, is a whole world of its own. Quite a bit of research has been done into this, not surprisingly, probably to some extent by the people who do it themselves. And there does seem to be some physiological differences. The people who are attracted or even obsessed with extreme sports often have a different set of neurotransmitters from their brains to their extremities. They may simply need more and more thrills and excitement just to keep them on an even keel. Extreme sports are, at the end of the day, an antidote to boredom and feeling stale and feeling trapped and all that sort of thing. So some people, I would guess, seem to need it more than others. Well, a third reason has to do with pursuing a dream. What can be more of a noble endeavor on the part of a human being than to pursue his or her dream? Martin Luther King famously commented that he had a dream in one of his great speeches. The idea of having a dream and having the wherewithal, the time, the energy, the emotional fortitude to pursue it is one of man's oldest and most exciting and really remarkable forms of activity. And fourth, I guess not inconsiderable, it's a great view. Imagine what it must be like to stand on the summit of Mount Everest, if it's a clear day, and look around you. And of course, you're looking down on everything, but the views of the snow-capped mountains in that area of the Himalayas, it must be just astounding. So there are a lot of positive reasons why someone would want to climb Mount Everest. Well, there are some negative ones as well. First of all, the impact of all of those climbers in Mount Everest has made a real mess of the place. So it's environmentally kind of an unpleasant endeavor. So much so that actually the authorities have had to organize cleanup teams, people who pick up not only the empty oxygen bottles and other detritus, but perhaps human effluvia of one sort or another. And that's kind of not a very pleasant thought. Well, secondly, it's very expensive. The average tariff, or the typical tariff to climb Mount Everest, ranges from about $40,000 to $100,000, depending on whether you go for all the bells and whistles or not. For almost anybody, that's quite a lot of money. And for those who spend all their time climbing, it must be a fortune. They must be saving every penny they have, and perhaps doing without 4K television sets in the process, just in order to have the money to be able to come back to the Himalayas. Number three, it's pretty dangerous. I've already cited the death rate. It may seem small, but when you're actually confronted with it, it's got to seem to be a pretty serious risk. The principal deaths on Everest are from avalanches and from falls, but also from the effects of altitude sickness. We all know that when you get into the aptly named death zone, the area above 26,000 feet, your body actually starts shutting down. So you've got to finish the whole project as quickly as you can in order to survive that debilitating physical experience. The famous German climber Reinhold Messner, who has, I think, twice climbed without oxygen, made this point. He said, above that level, you are actually in the process of dying. So the reason that he goes without oxygen bottles is so he can get up and back as fast as possible and get back into the land of the living. So all of that's a kind of a horrifying thought, and gives you pause for thought. And number four, it takes a lot of time. You really need to carve out several months in order to climb Mount Everest. I suppose the principal part of that is the initial climbing you have to do simply to acclimatize yourself, to get your blood used to the high altitudes and so forth. Of course, there are a lot of other preparations, but they say it's a minimum of 2 months, so you need the time. Okay, well, my take. What's my take? Well, as you might have guessed, climbing Mount Everest is not on my agenda. It is not on my bucket list. But by the same token, I can't help admiring the pluck of people who try it. The dangers involved, the risks, the scariness, the discomfort, all of that certainly put me off, but not so with others. Well, good luck to them. I wish them well, and whoever's doing it this year, I hope they all survive. Okay, well, that's the end of that one. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a like and a subscribe if you would, and I'll see you at the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.